14. It was June 4th, and I was busy packing all day. My son was turning 3, and we were going to take him to Disney to celebrate his 3rd birthday. So it was a busy day, and not only were we going to go to Disney, but we were going to see my dad, who lived in Orlando. And I had talked to my dad earlier in the week, but that day was really hectic, and we hadn't seen my dad in a year. My dad moved down to Orlando when I was 8, and I'd only ever seen him really once a year growing up. And as an adult, sometimes that was a little less frequent. And the last time I had seen him was a year before, almost exactly. I saw him the June before. He had an engagement, and I met him for lunch with my son, who was 2 at the time. It was a really nice lunch we had. We stayed for hours, and we talked about a lot of stuff. His favorite show, Castle. It was a good show. It's a good show. He told me the whole. I didn't need to watch it because he told me the whole plot. So cider donuts. We talked about a lot of stuff. And when we left, I took a picture of him and my son in the parking lot. I was looking forward to seeing him. I hadn't seen him in a year. And we were going to see him definitely on Sunday. We were going to go to the Animal Kingdom together, but probably when I landed, because typically I would see him on the day that I arrived. And then on 7 p.m. on the 4th, I got news that he had died suddenly. That day.
Oh my goodness.
And it was the biggest and probably most devastating shock of my life. Sorry.
It's okay. You go, girl.
I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry. The shock was made even worse by the fact that he didn't want a funeral or a viewing. And so when we flew down there, my brother and my half-sister and I met at his house. And we took the things that we thought we wanted. And then we packed up the rest for either Goodwill or to go in the trash. And that was it. And it was weird because that was the only closure I'd really ever had. And then a couple weeks ago, we finally sold his house, which I knew was going to be a relief. But it was weird because it brought up like all these I got really upset the day of closing. I wasn't expecting it. I was just, like, I think about him every morning. I don't know why. I think about him every morning when I'm driving to work. I don't know why. I just was like really upset the day that his house closed. I think because it was so final and he died there, and so I was really feeling just like low. And I reminded me a couple years ago, I had a boss, kind of insensitive, and he sent an email out to all of us, and the subject line read death, lowercase death. And I opened the email, and it had just said that someone that I worked with, I mean, I didn't work with them, somebody who had worked in the department before I was hired had died. And this was the way he was telling us, subject line death. And in the minute, I was like, oh, that's sad, and I deleted it, because I'm type A about my email. And then, and then I thought, like, oh, is that what's gonna happen to me someday? Like, I'll just be subject line death, you know? Like, somebody will open it and be like, oh, that's too bad, delete, and you know, is that it? And so when we sold my dad's house, I was having like an existential crisis because I was like, what is it all about? Is life meaningless? Do we just die and then we disappear? My dad's house was sold and he's gone, and you know, I was just like feeling that way. And then like luckily someone said to me, well, yeah, you're not physically there anymore, but everybody you touch, like everybody you meet, either if it's for like a day or like years, you live on in them, like you have an impact on them. And that was like a lifesaver for me because I was like so feeling like, you know, hopeless. Sorry. And it really reminded me of that quote in the beginning stanza of Song of Myself by Walt Whitman. He says, oh, and I'm going to forget it. He says, what is it? It's something, oh, for every atom belonging to, every atom belonging to me, something, it's something about every atom belonging to me also belongs to you. In other words, we're all connected.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, and so I decided that, you know, it's still hard, it's hard for me every day. I also lost my grandfather last summer, but I won't sadden you with that story too. And sadly, it was while I was on a trip to Las Vegas, so moral of the story, don't travel. But the advice really helped me because I realized that, you know, I just have to, you know, I guess my wake-up call, if you want to relate it to the theme, is, you know, I have to remember that as long as I'm kind and decent, and then I forgive myself when I'm not those things, and then I make real connections with people that I have in my life, whether it's for 5 minutes or longer, that maybe I hope that, you know, I'll live on and that it'll be worthwhile.
All right.
Gina